Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we'll learn about SQL data types. SQL data types are the rules that we apply at schema level on each column. Data types are used to enforce data integrity, to optimize the storage, and to maintain the accuracy of data and to avoid the garbage data passing into our database. SQL data types help developers to understand what kind of data they have to store in which column. SQL data types are also helpful when we are migrating the data from one database to another database. We select the appropriate data type based on the type of data we want to store in a particular column. If I want to store birth date, I will go with date data type. If I want to store name or email address, I will go with worker data type. If I want to store employee ID, I will go with integer data type. If I want to store employee salary, I will go with decimal data type. So based on the type of data we want to store in each column, we select the appropriate data type. And as you can see, there are a number of numeric data types based on the data type and based on the size of the data and the type of numeric data. We select the appropriate data type from this list. Based on the size of data, we can go for int, tint or big int, so which will help us to optimize the storage. Similarly, in date and time, we have date time and timestamp. So based on what detail we want to store in this column, either we want only date or we want only time or we want both date and time. So accordingly we select the appropriate data type. And similarly, when we want to store the characters or string, we can go for char, which is fixed length data type, varchar, which is flexible length data type. We can go for text if the length of if it is a description or something, then we go for text data type. If it is Unicode, we can go for nchar, nvarchar and ntext for the Unicode data type. Let's discuss some of the commonly used data types. So to store the numbers, we have integer, decimal and float. So integers are whole numbers. It can be negative numbers, 0 or positive numbers. So integer data type we are using when we want to store the counting of items, when we want to store the user IDs or inventory levels, we go for integer data type. Similarly, decimal data type, when we have to store the financial amounts where precision matters like price and balance, we go for decimal data type. So in the decimal we have 5 and 2. 5 is our scale and 2 is our precision. So whenever the exact amounts are required, then we go for decimal data type. Next we have float data type. So this float data type is used when we can rounding off the acceptable values, and they are used for scientific measurements. So then we go for float data type, where accuracy is not much that important but storage is important, then we go for float data type. When we need more accuracy, we go for decimal data type. Next, when we want to store the characters or string, we have char, varchar and text. So char is a fixed length data type where we allocate a fixed length, say for example char 5. So 5 letters we can add, 5 characters we can add in this particular column, not more than 5, but it occupies the space of 5 characters. That's why we call them it as fixed length data types. Next is varchar 50. So these are used for flexible length of inputs. It is called as flexible data type. Here we store the details such as names, email address, because the length of the names and email address can vary, but it should be within limit. So varchar 50. So 50 is the maximum length of characters that we can store in a particular column. Next we have text. Text is used for storing large text blocks, descriptions, comments, logs. We go for text data type. Next, date and time. So when we want to store the calendar date, only date itself, so then we go for date data type. Suppose we want to store only time in a particular column, say for example meeting time, then we go for time data type. If you want both date and time, then we go for date time data type, which includes date as well as time. Next we have Boolean data type. So Boolean data type is used to indicate flags such as is active, has paid. So it will indicate true, false values in a particular column. So based on the type of data that we want to store in a particular column, we select the appropriate data type and the right size of the data type and the precision and scale of the data type, so that we can optimize the data storage and improve the query performance as well. Let's discuss this with an example. So data types we will provide when we are creating the table. If we don't provide the data type and only mention the column name, most of the data types databases will give an error indicating that table won't be created. If it's a small number, we go for int. If it's a big number, we go for big int for all the columns. Now we are creating an employees table and we have employee ID. So in the employee ID we are storing the numbers. So then we will go for integer data type. Now next column is our first name. So name of the employee can be vary, the character length can vary, therefore we go for varchar data type and we have taken 50. It is the maximum number of characters that can be stored in this particular column. Again, last name also can vary, the length of the last name of each individual person can vary, so again we have selected varchar. Email address also, the length of email address for each individual will not be same, therefore we have selected varchar 100, because email address will require more characters when compared to names, therefore we have gone for 100. Then phone number is having fixed length. The phone number will not change, for the character length will not change for each individual, so it will be 10 digits only. It will not going to be more than 10 digits or less than 10 digits. So therefore for the phone number we have opted for char data type, which is a fixed length data type. For salary, so salary should be accurate, there should be scale and precision, and it should be exact, therefore we have gone for decimal data type. Next is hire date. Now in this column we are storing the date on which the employee is hired, so we have gone for date data type. Now is active, whether the employee is still working in the company or he is not working in the company, so we have to indicate that with a flag. So we have used bit, a default value is given is 1, so in bit we can store either 0 or 1. So 1 indicates true and 0 indicates false. So this is how we provide the appropriate data type based on the type of data we want to store in a particular column, and it will help us to improve the data integrity, data quality, and optimization of the storage. It will help developer to understand what type of data is stored in which column. Thanks for watching this video. For more such informative videos, please like and subscribe.